So tonight for dinner I'm making a tamale pie. I'm cooking the meat right now. I'm prepping it so that way it's ready when dinner comes around. I'm cooking the meat and I gotta get my veggies finished dicing while this is cooking, and then go from there. I will show videos of the process. Okay, so now I'm going to move all this over and use the grease to cook up the garlic, onions, and red bell pepper. And then I will add in everything else that the recipe calls for. But I need to cook this until it's soft. Okay, so I have chili powder, but apparently I don't have cumin, so I'm going to improvise and just throw in some taco seasoning. Fingers crossed that works. And yeah, while we're waiting for this to cook, or soften, I should say, for the onions and whatnot to soften. And it smells so good. So to this bowl, I added the 1 cup of corn, the 15 ounces of, I did not have just plain diced tomatoes, I had petite diced, so I used those, and a can of green chilies. And then once the meats, the onions and stuff in the meat is softened, I will pour this in with the spices and continue to cook it. Okay, now I'm adding in the tomatoes, corn, and green chilies to mix in. And then we will add in the seasonings once I measure all those out. And then the more and more I look at how much all this mixture is, I'm realizing I'm probably not going to be able to cook this all in the cast iron. We'll see. If I can get this stuff on top of it and then cook it in the cast iron in the oven, then that's a go. If not, then I'll probably have to put it in a baking dish. Okay, so to this bowl I have 1 tablespoon cornstarch, which I have apparently just poured everywhere. That's fine. Well, whatever. It's fine. 2 teaspoons chili powder, 1 teaspoon taco seasoning, because I did not have cumin and I was, yeah, that's what I had. And then 1 teaspoon salt. I have mixed it all together. And then I'm just going to add it to the meat mixture, and let me try and get all that back in there. Okay. So we're going to sprinkle this over the meat mixture. Okay. Now we're going to mix this all together. Then I gotta dig up my tripod so I can set up my phone to show you guys how I'm gonna make the masa for the top of this. And I will link this recipe down below. Sorry, that onion looked ugly to me, so we weren't gonna use it. Don't judge me. I will link the recipe that I'm using down below. It looked really good online, so I decided that's what I wanted to do for dinner. Let me know if you guys try it. Let me know if you like it. Do you guys have your own recipes similar to this? Let me know. And here I am forgetting the most important part, 1.5 cups of shredded cheddar cheese. So we're gonna add that now, and we're gonna just eyeball it because I'm not putting in another measuring cup. So we're gonna say that's like a, what, 1/2 cup. One cup, 1/2 cup, meh. Okay, well, let's mix this all together. I don't know about y'all, but for some reason, I've never been able to cook without making a slight mess. So, once I'm done mixing this, we'll just wrap it up and move it so that I can clean up my stove. Yum. It smells so good. I could just eat it with a spoon. Matter of fact, let's try. Okay. Hot, hot, hot. Oh my God. That's amazing. You guys need to make this recipe. It is so good. Okay, so now I'm going to make the masa corn topping for the tamale pie. I need 2 1/4 cup of the corn flour, Here's the 4th cup. There's 1. And there's 2. Okay, you need 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Here's a half a teaspoon, so we'll do 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 teaspoon salt. Again, we'll do 2 of these. 1, 2. 2 plus cups chicken broth, half cup butter. I need to whisk all that together. Okay. There's my 2 cups. If I need more, I will add it. Here's my half cup of butter. Okay. And we're gonna whisk this together. Of course it gets really thick, and I didn't know that. That'd probably be why they say 2 plus cups. Wait, it's right here. I'm gonna add a little bit more. Here's a splash, here's a splash. Okay. Y'all didn't see me just splash that on myself. Well, you know what? I wouldn't have whisked this if I knew it was gonna end up this thick. Very flimsy whisk. Is it just me? Everybody else's whisks seem not as flimsy, and mine just seem to like... Okay. That smells really good. Okay. So, now then. Need to stir in... Well, let me get my rubber spatula. Okay. Need to stir in half a cup of cheese. See, I'm like, is it supposed to be this thick? I guess so. Okay, whatever. Here's my cheese. Half a cup. We're gonna say that's a nice little handful, right? That's like half a cup. Again, your kitchen, do what you want. Okay. Oops. Whoa. Holy crap. Missed an entire part. Now. Okay, you know, we're going to have a little bit more chicken broth because apparently completely missed. Now I see why they say 2 plus cups. Again, I've never made this recipe before, so we're gonna see how it turns out. But it looked really good, and when I was reading through it, it sounded really good. So, you know, we'll see. Okay. After you have that, see, it says evenly pour over top. So is it supposed to be like obviously not thick? It doesn't see, it doesn't tell you like if it's too thick, add anything. So I'm like, do I just kind of like put it on top? Do I thin it out? I don't know. You know what? Like, Okay, you know what? We're just gonna do it like this, I guess. Whatever. Like, it says pour, but obviously this isn't all that pourable, but I followed the instructions. So we'll see how this turns out. Again, if it's not perfect, who cares? As long as it tastes good, that's all I care about. I'm sure there are chefs rolling over in their graves looking at me like, well, what the heck is your problem? Oh, well. I guess that works. Just kind of break it apart and move it around. Okay, if you've made this before, please let me know what I'm doing wrong. I've made taco pies. I've made enchilada pies. Never made a, what is this called again? A tamale pie before. I'm a little nervous because I don't know how this is supposed to turn out. But I feel like it looks fine. It smells good. Don't judge me. It's my kitchen. I can do what I want. Just like it's your kitchen when you're cooking and you can do what you want. I'm sure whoever's recipe this is, they're probably like, oh, she's crazy. And that's perfectly fine. I'm a little bit crazy, right? Right. I've got to be. Oh my gosh. Actually, you know, this is actually covering the whole top of it, so I'm not mad. If this is supposed to be thinner, okay, but I'm just kind of like trying to cover up all the cracks. If I said that in front of my children, my boys would laugh and said, you said cracks. I'm like, butt cracks. Because that's what it's like to have little boys. One of them is in the burping stage. Do you guys have little boys? Do they burp a lot? Is it a kid thing or is it a boy thing? I don't know. But my one son, my middle child, loves to burp. Just sits there and burps all day long. And then my older son, like, will side stitch it, like side splitting laughter. Just, oh my gosh, when his younger brother makes burping sounds. Getting the two of them together is hilarious. Just kind of put that over the little cracks. Okay, let me wash my hands and then I'll show you what this looks like. No waste in my kitchen. Every little bit can go somewhere. Just gonna pat this down with my spatula since it doesn't seem to be sticking to that, but was sticking to my hands. Oh, should I sprinkle more cheese on top? Oh, it's a thought. Okay. And this is my tamale pie. That's what it's supposed to look like. That's what it's supposed to look like. And this is mine, obviously uncooked, but I'm excited. So now I just got to preheat the oven and put it in. Okay, so it's preheating to 400 and this goes in for 30 to 45 minutes. So once this preheats, I'll put it in. So this actually smells just like a tamale, which is amazing. But I definitely think next time I'm gonna, I don't know, maybe add some more liquid, make that more pourable. This is how it turned out though. I definitely should have put it in a baking dish because it kind of, the grease kind of overflowed. And not too much, but I noticed when I opened my oven. I did have a cookie sheet under it, so there wasn't a ton, but yeah, it still spilled over. Or cut the recipe in half and put it in a baking dish and save the other half for like into a pan that I can put in the freezer, you know, like make, you know what I'm trying to say? Yeah, okay. But this is how it turned out. So I'm gonna try it once it cools down a little bit. So delicious.